Right, so I've decided I'm going to try and reduce the compression ratio on the BSA. I mean, it's really good fun, and it's got some real grunt when you open it up. But as I say, it's difficult to start. Got to run it on high octane fuel all the time, which is getting more and more difficult to find. So for all those sort of reasons, just to make it more sort of tractable and more fun to use on a daily basis, I'm going to reduce the compression ratio. What I'm going to do, I've managed to get hold of a alleged 2 millimeter compression plate. Actually, looking at it, it's actually less than 2 mil. It's well, not a lot, 1.92, very slightly less, 1.94, 93. So yeah, I mean, if anything, I'd rather it was slightly thinner. So it's not quite a big change, such a big change as it would be otherwise. But yeah, I'm going to give that a go. Stick it in under here, and that way, and we'll see what happens. If it doesn't work, of course, I can always go back again. So it's not as if it's irreversible. So I've just started taking the engine out. I'll whip the barrel off and put this in. The only thing slight concern is that whether the liner, the 600cc kit liner that's in this engine, whether it will fit through this hole. But hopefully it will. If not, I may end up filing this. But I'll work it out one way or another. So I'll get on with that, and so interested to see what it feels like once I've put that plate in. Right, the engine's almost out. Um, as last time I got it out, I found the best way for me at least is to take these two studs out on the right hand side of the rocker box, because then you can tilt the engine to the left and bring it out through the left, which, so from my point of view, seems to be the best way of doing it. Right, so I've got the head and barrel off, obviously, and everything looks fine. There's absolutely no movement in the big end that I can feel, or the small end. So that's all good. Slight carbon build-up, but nothing too serious. Rings all look good. So I think it's ready to go again. The only thing I've noticed is that these oil holes in the gasket, they're a bit kind of burnt. I think perhaps compressing the gasket has pushed it inwards onto the holes. It's the same on the other one. So I'll be careful of that next time. Okay, here's the barrel, and yeah, it does fit over that as well. So that is good. So with this line having been changed, I was a bit concerned that it might be too big. But actually, looking at it now, there's a step in the liner. This section is thinner than the rest of the liner. So I guess that was a deliberate choice on behalf of the people that made the liner to keep this diameter the same, so to avoid having to open up the mouth of the crankcases, which is good. So this all looks fine. I'll give it a good clean, obviously, and stick it all back together. And the other thing I was keen to have a look at is this valve lifter, and it is very loose. You can see that, but there's got a lot of movement in the spindle, so I'm sure that's where it's leaking, just trickling through the spindle and out onto the top of the head. The head gasket too looks absolutely fine. No sign that it's been blowing or anything. So I will anneal that and reuse it. Yeah, so looking at this valve lifter, it is very sloppy in the bush. You can see that, but it does move quite a lot. So I've actually ordered another one of these, which is still available, which is good. The other thing which has happened, the O-ring was broken. So I guess with the sloppiness and the O-ring failing, then that would explain the leak onto the head. I was a bit surprised, at least, I don't know, but this seems to have a bush in it. It seems to have a steel bush inside the aluminium, which I didn't realise they had. I don't think the early ones, the B44, etc., had a bush, but this one does seem to. I don't know if it's an aftermarket thing or whether the B50 always did have a steel bush. Right, so replacement valve lifter has arrived from Dragonfly. Yeah, again, slight movement, but I think it is distinctly better than it was. And I bought the new O-ring as well. I'm not sure whether I got a correct one before. That actually looks slightly smaller diameter, doesn't it? It's probably not Viton either. I think this original should be Viton. So that's the old one. Yeah, definitely more play. Noticeably more. So hopefully with less clearance and new O-ring, it should leak less than it was at least. The thing I've wondered about is putting a breather on here. This is a PES cover, which is actually silicon Donald. I haven't actually got it off. It's sealed on so well. But they do two variants on a cover with a breather on it, which might just relieve the pressure and save pressure in here, pushing oil past that seal or down the bush. I might try that. If there's still a problem, I might well try that. But for now, this is a distinct improvement, I think. Right, get this cleaned up, ready to go back together. Use some meths to get the old well seal off. I just want to document this. I've got this new lifter in place now, and what I've done is find another O-ring, which I've fitted on there inside the rocker cover, and there is actually a recess on the bush on this side, so the O-ring disappears into that recess. Obviously, it's held further away, and the amount sticking out this side is less. But there's still room to get this O-ring on. So we should push that O-ring into the casting. And I'm going to leave this off for now. At least I'll put it on lightly. Make sure I can get it on the right spline. I've cleaned out the gauze filter in the frame and put some well seal on here, which I've left to flash off and stiffen up a bit. So that will go in there. It's quite grotty when I got it out. There's a bit of sludge about, I don't know, 10 or 12 mil at the length of the filter. This 1 1/8 socket fits quite comfortably. I'm pretty sure they should have a fibre washer on it, which I haven't got. I haven't got one big enough to go on, so the well seal will do, I'm sure. The last time when I assembled the engine, I didn't use any sealant at all, just used the gaskets dry, and the head gasket dry as well, with a bit of grease smeared onto it, but that was all. This time I will put a little smear of well seal onto it, onto both sides of these, obviously either side of the compression plate. So that'll be good, hopefully. And I have annealed the copper head gasket just by heating it to cherry red. Doesn't matter whether you quench it or not, you can let it cool in air or whatever. As long as it reaches cherry red, it'll be annealed. So I've done that and then rubbed it down with a bit of Scotch Brite just to get the scale off. So again, I think I'll put a little smear of well seal on that rather than like I did last time and leave it completely dry. Right, I've just given this a light hone. It's not perfect, but it's good enough to go again for my use anyway. Right, so everything back together. I made a mistake of getting the bolt wrong in the footrest bolt down here. Put it around the other way with a nut on this side, which just clips the footrest as it kicks. Sorry, the kickstart as it traverses round. So I've swapped that bolt round. Yeah, the plate is there, of course, with the gasket either side, so that's good. I've adjusted the tappets, and the geometry seems to work out okay. They're still within adjustment range, and so that's all good. Hopefully, I took the opportunity of tidying up the oil pipes. This bike, before I bought it, has a pipe up to the back of the frame. There's the drain back at the back of the frame, which is kind of weird because it's dead space and the oil could stagnate there. But the previous owner had fitted a union there, and there's a hose running down into a T on the other side of the engine. So you can't really see it, but there's a T down here. So this hose here is coming from the back of the frame. So the oil pump gets oil from the front of the frame, from the Gauze filter in the original route, but it's also getting oil potentially from the back of the frame, so it doesn't stagnate in the back of the frame. So that's sorted. I put new clips on it, basically new stainless clips, and say rerouted things slightly to tidy it up and lengthened the piece of hose that goes from this T piece to the output, sorry, the input to the pump. So I refilled the frame with fresh oil, and I've kicked it over many times now to get the oil flowing and get it going through the filter and back up to the tank. So there's definitely oil everywhere it should be. So yeah, all done. Looking forward now to seeing how it performs and what difference the compression plate makes. Thanks for watching.